what was displayed at the Bomas of Kenya portal. And quoting the evening chapters of the book by the former chief agent of the Azimio presidential candidate, Mr. Setabao Ole Kanchori, who said that all through at the Bomas of Kenya, when the results were being streamed live on the portal, Honorable Raila Odinga was always ahead with over 50% of the votes cast that had been projected on the portal. Until that time, when the IBC chair decided that the streaming of the results on the portal should stop, public display of the results should stop, and indeed it stopped with his word, because being the presidential returning officer, he said he had the powers to make any decisions that he deemed was or were fit at that particular time. So Mr. Kanchori goes ahead to say that indeed the whole process was mismanaged by Mr. Wafula Chebukati. The whole process of streaming of results from polling stations into the Bomas auditorium was mismanaged by Mr. Wafula Chebukati. And I haven't seen anywhere Mr. Chebukati coming to refute this particular claim that Mr. Setabao Ole Kanchori has quoted in his book, Why Raila Odinga is Not the Fifth. Now, another thing that perhaps Kenyans should know is that whatever is being presented in this live stream and has been presented in other forums that the Azimio and Kenya coalition leadership has been attending. The first one was at Ufungamano House in along Mamlaka Road at the University of Nairobi, where Mr. Barnabas presented it to a pensive audience that had time to look at the figures and understood what was happening. Then the second one was at the Murang'a SEK Diocese Mothers Union Hall, where he also did the same to the audience that had turned out for the meeting that was addressed by the principals of Azimio One Kenya coalition led by Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. This is what is contained in the server and the portal at the IBC as was displayed. And it's now, the onus is on the IBC to come forward and say, indeed, what you're doing is not correct. The figures you are presenting to the public are not right. They have not done so. And Mr. Bardamas, not once, not twice, has challenged the IBC to come and say, indeed, this is not, these are not our figures. They haven't done anything. Being considerate of others will take your children further in life than any college degree, Mariam Wright Elderman said. So whatever you do with this information is up to you. Take it, leave it. But indeed, it's just for Kenya to know what happened. Someone asked in the comments, what next? It is not us to decide what next. Neither it is you to decide what next. But what we need to do as a people who love our country, who want this generation and the generations to come, our lives, our future, and the future of our children's children to be good and under good governance in an open, transparent, and a fair system of election. We need to fix what is used to deprive others of their victory and reward others who have it. I mean, those who have the means, you know what I mean, of that victory. So basically, this show was just to show you exactly what Mr. Bardamas has been trying to explain to us after going through the data and analyzing critically so that you can understand. Mr. Barnabas, your parting shot, what do you think should be done going forward?
Yes, I have a few concerns that I can also highlight directly to you, as you can look at it from the computer. One of them is, what are the sources of the different sets of Form 34B? The work of anybody who wants to check on data is to get the originals and process, and the computer gives you out the results. So the sources is what matters. But when you look at it, we know that the portal comes from the IEBC. And the other source also is coming from IEBC because we are told the whistleblower got it from IEBC. So ask ourselves, what are the sources of the different sets of Form 34B that are bringing the controversies in Kenya today? And we can authoritatively say it is IEBC. Then who is responsible for the different figures in the two sets of the Form 34B? It is not us. Ours is to take the two sets of forms and compare the results and get the outcome. Then we note that who created those figures differently like that? It's only IEBC that can answer that question. Then why the consistencies in the different forms? You know, if it was just something that somebody was doing haphazard, we could have seen some places it's 100 votes taken, some places it is 20 votes, some places it's this much. But we note that the consistency is that what is taken from the Prime Minister Raila Odinga is what is given to Ruto directly, just like that, to show that there was a planned consistency in this to happen. And who could be responsible for this? It is an IBC plus some anonymous face that only them can be able to explain. Lastly, I have that indicated drawing there. We have peace, humanity, and justice. Many times we pursue peace at the expense of justice. And you see what happens, everybody shouts and the police are on the roads and they're trying to tell people, maintain peace. All we need to do is just to pursue the justice part of it. Then peace will pursue us. It is all clear that if you pursue justice, peace pursues us. Lastly, we also have humanity, the truth, and the law. Many times we want the law to pursue humanity at the expense of the truth. But the reality is that we should pursue the truth, and the law will be a faithful observer in what's going on in our lives. So these two things is what is causing problems in Kenya today. Apparently, when I look at the social media, when we want to be rational and try to bring things in the rational way, you meet it with sorts of insult, accept and move on, this and that, mlishindwa, what. That is what you meet. But again, if we speak of going to the streets, then you start wondering, why are you telling people again don't go there? So in other words, we need to be keen. We need to know that we have two things that we must always pursue. Justice, and we must also pursue truth. Then we will have all the peace that we need in our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir Winston Churchill, one of the most celebrated statesmen in the UK, and the former British Prime Ministers, once said, all the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in a single word. Freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, and hope. Hope is what gives people, what keeps people going. It is hope that what makes us grow. Keep hoping. Let's get there. Let's fix our country. Thank you to the production crew. Everyone who was involved. My guest here, Mr. Barnabas Otieno, thank you for agreeing to come to the show and share with us the data that you have analyzed so that Kenyans can understand. But I just want to tell you, it is you who will make Kenya move forward by the resolve to have some things changed. Change begins with you. Change begins with me. Let us join hands and fix our country. so that you can have a better future. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.